Hey, hey, hey!
Hello, I brought you some stew. Would you like some?
Oh, I'd like some. Gimme. Okay. Ah!
Surprise, motherfucker, it was acid.
That was so hot.
Acid that looked like stew. They make that now.
You can buy it. You can order it on the deep web.
Yeah.
Or the dark web? Whatever it's called?
The dark web.
Have you ever been on the dark web, ever?
No, you have, though.
I not personally, but
Okay.
I've had friends who, also, sorry to everyone who just opened this podcast and hear me screaming. I've had friends who have showed me the dark web before.
Okay.
It's surprisingly accessible. Like it's like
Yeah.
weirdly easy to get on.
Yeah.
Like all you really have to do, and this is years ago, right? This is my first university when this happened. Is like you go on these like backwater websites and you got to use these really, because you know how like most web code is like .com or .net or whatever.
Yeah.
You have to use these really bizarre ones. There was like .banana.
Yeah.
You know, like knives or something. Like it's just like really.
.knives. That is the most emo thing.
Oh, yeah.
That is the most emo thing.
It's where you buy guns, actually.
Yeah, no. Oh,
I'm kidding. That was a joke.
So stupid.
But no, it's crazy the shit you could buy on the dark web, man. Like, it's funny, right? Because it ranges from a whole wild of things to like the very illegal.
Yeah.
Like the very illegal.
Yeah.
To like the not as illegal. Like some of the stuff on the dark web that has like just become regular fucking website practices, like buying drugs on the internet. Like marijuana.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
gonna say like heroin? Like
You can get hard drugs on the dark web.
yeah, I know. That's what's fucked up about the dark web. That's one of the fucked up things on the dark web is like black tar heroin. just like eBay. You just buy it.
It's the
you go, if
craziest.
you know where to go.
Well, it's the most surreal thing in the world because I was asking a buddy of mine who showed me this when this happened, and he was legit like, "Yeah, you just order it like you order anything else,
Yeah.
and then a fucking package shows up to your doorstep,
and it's black tar heroin.
and it's got drugs in it." I'm like, that is so fucked up. And he was
Yeah.
like, it is really fucked up.
Yeah, well, because it's like it's not like it just like usually when you buy something legal online, like okay, I bought something from Shein recently, right? Totally legal. I bought a duffel bag. Sounds a little bit more suspicious, but bear
Yeah.
with me.
What's in the duffel
I bought
bag,
a legal
Sam?
empty duffel bag, and
You're gonna stuff it with your own drugs. Yeah.
some of my own drugs. No, but like when I bought it, like the company received my order and then like it went to a warehouse that was licensed that the government knows exists and paid employees like plucked it off a shelf, packaged it up in a package and like put an address on it, and there's like a return address that I can send it to should I want to return it and everything, and then it goes through the mail. Like it was sent from like China, and like it just got sent through the mail. And dark web is like, you can't just send heroin through the mail.
Well, I wonder.
Someone's gonna see that it's heroin
It leads
and
me to
stop
believe.
it.
It leads me to believe that maybe there's less screening in our mail system than I ever would have thought.
I doubt you can't just package up heroin and send it through though. Like
No, yeah.
you can't just, and then the mailman will just be like, "Oh, this is really heavy," but it's like 5 pounds of Mexican black tar heroin. Like
Yeah.
you can't. Just someone's gonna see it goes
Yeah.
through an X-ray machine.
I would hope so, right? Like
It does.
You need like dark FedEx to do it. You need like the dark Canada, the anti-Canada Post.
Yeah.
To like take your dark web
You know
orders.
how like in Riverdale there's Dark Betty? It's like Dark Canada Post.
It's Canada Post with a darkness inside
Exactly.
of it. What does that mean? Shut up. Basically the explanation I got for
Means
Dark
it
Betty.
dyed its hair black.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, welcome back to the Chill Spot Podcast, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
We're back for another week.
We
Episode
are.
88, I think. 88 episodes.
Something like that. Yeah, we gotta start thinking about what we want to do for our 100th.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought we'd be famous by now, but here we are.
C'est la vie, I guess. You know,
But you know
it's
what?
just the way she goes.
I've been checking, naturally when I upload the episodes to Podbean, and obviously I keep an eye on YouTube analytics because I have to.
Are we still huge in Malaysia?
We've dipped in Malaysia, but we do have a few listeners in Russia.
Okay, still? Wow, even after that episode where I dead-ass insulted Russia.
No,
and said that I
in
never
fact, we
wanted
actually
to
went
go.
up after that happened.
Wow, you guys are like
Alex
gluttons
Navali
for
is a
punishment.
big listener of our podcast.
You guys like it when I talk to you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the wage disparity in your country is staggering.
This is a weird bit, Sam. But I just want to say thank you to everyone who listens to our podcast, both on YouTube and on Podbean. I see the user retention. I see the people who listen every week.
I see you and I feel you and I understand you and I want you. Especially.
Okay, Sam. Still weird.
Trying to get famous. This is the quickest way.
Sell your soul to Russia? Sell your body to Russia?
Worked for Trump. I mean.
Ring the political bell, Sam.
Ding, 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 ding. Okay.
God, it's been a while since we've been there.
I know. It felt old when I said it.
Do you like real quick before we dive into what we have prepared today?
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of weird how like any podcast that's ever been made, I think every podcast that's ever been made always starts off with like, unless you have a concept that's like specific in terms of like, on this podcast we dissect history of the emus or something, right? Like, no, like
that's deep.
In general conversational podcasts, I feel like a lot of people start off, just like, I'm just gonna put myself on microphone, right? And
where you're a child with a microphone,
more or less. And I feel like the concept for the Chill Spot podcast was always like easy listening and chill out, hanging out with friends.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I feel like there was less relaxing moments.
Yeah, because we quickly realized that there was a microphone in front of our faces.
And got self-conscious.
Right. Yeah.
But we've eased that by adding a camera and lights. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about today.
Okay, cool. Let's get to it.
We were thinking about the world today and how things can be dark, just like the dark web. And
great tie-in.
We wanted to talk about things that make us happy.
Yeah.
And happiness in general, and how happiness is a fleeting thing.
Because sometimes when you're not feeling happy, you just gotta
force it,
Just punch the happiness into you.
Exactly. It's called compartmentalizing. But off the top, Sam, what are some of your favorite things that make you happy in terms of media, TV, food, activities, movies, blah, 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 blah. We'll try to keep it away from hobbies and stuff because we talked about that a couple episodes.
Hobbies already, yeah.
And so y'all know how we feel about that.
Obviously, you make me happy. Obviously, roller skating makes me happy.
Naturally.
But junk food makes me extremely happy. And that's something that I have to
really kind of reconcile.
It's something that I'm trying to deal with within myself.
Sure.
Because it's just I could eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 3 days of the week, take a break, eat vegetables all day, and then go right back to eating shit.
And come downstairs and add that bag off that 4-pound bag of Smarties.
I did. I spent $35 on a bag of Smarties at Bulk Barn.
It blew my mind when you spent almost $40. $60 more to $100
and
on a bag of Smarties.
That was last week. It's almost gone.
I mean, you pick at it every day, pretty much.
Yeah, I do.
I've helped a little bit.
I mean, it would also help if I could put it somewhere. I'm still staying at your house for now, and I gotta put it somewhere out of sight.
Sure.
And I don't have a place. I still don't feel like I have a place in certain areas of your house.
You need your cubby hole. Is what you're saying.
Yeah. I have my places and they're not official places. There's my nightstand at home. There's the potato bin in the sunroom. There's that one cupboard in my kitchen. There's the one plastic container sitting I have my little stashes in my house, and I don't have that here. I'm stashless. I'm just I guess Donna won't mind if I put this here. Where's the least offensive place that I can put something?
Yeah.
In this house. So it's out in front of me and I see it and it's within arm's reach, so I grab it.
Right.
And it's a bad habit. I wore a tight t-shirt yesterday and I felt it.
Been there.
But
my whole life.
Yeah. So it makes me happy, but it also and then I eat it and then it makes me unhappy. It's a
push and pull relationship.
What is it called? It's very in the moment. It's a fleeting sense of happiness.
Yeah. I get that 100% because actually before the pandemic and before this new direction in my life, I realized that I had some actually unhealthy happy habits, right? Where I would get that shot of serotonin every time I got a McDonald's chicken sandwich or something, or eating out and tasting this oh my god, tastes so fucking good. That was the high that I was chasing.
Yeah.
Combined with buying things.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I would never, like, I'm not, like, such a spender that I'm like, I'm going to drop $200 on this stupid ass statue of Goku, right? Like, no, it would be more like, I want to buy these 2 indie games because in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm supporting a small game developer. These games look really cool.
Yeah.
If I like them, I could tweet about them, you know, contribute to the conversation. At the end of the day, all it really was me slowly getting addicted to spending.
Yeah.
And both those things are very tied to money.
Yeah.
So now that I'm no longer getting steady money or money at all, I have to find other ways to be happy.
Yeah.
And a way that I think I've been trying to learn how to be happy with the things that I have is just getting back into things that I used to do, like listening to music. You know, when I was living in my house in Waterloo during university, I spent a lot of time listening to music because I lived in the basement. And you know, I could walk over to my record player, put on a record, put it on medium volume, and not disturb anybody else in the house.
Totally.
But then have awesome music playing, right?
Totally.
I would spend nights like sitting out back on a chair, smoking weed,
and
listening to music, but like. That really was therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
Not the weed part.
Yeah.
Like it helped, but like it was mostly the music.
And like listening to music.
Yeah. So what I've been doing lately, for the past couple weeks now, is just like taking the time to listen to music.
Yeah.
Like I screenshotted the rap album Grammy winners and awards this year, and I've made a point to listen to all of them.
Cool.
I haven't listened to all of them yet, but I have listened to Jay Electronica's newest album, and I thought it was great. You should give it a listen. If you also like Jay-Z, he's on every song. So there's that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, just the small things, man. Like, instead of thinking like one day I will watch a new show, watch the new show.
Watch the new show.
You know, I get that same sort of hit of serotonin that I would get when I would buy an indie game by watching this thing, which I pay for because it's subscription based. But it's also something new.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess like for me recently, expanding my horizons has been happy because I think it's really easy to get into ruts, right? It's really easy to be like, these 10 songs make me happy, and you know what? If I don't listen to another song for the rest of my life, I'll be happy.
At me next time.
That is.
I've been listening to my on repeat. The on repeat playlist on Spotify is the most toxic thing in the world.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hey, so like we made 6 daily mixes for you, or you can listen to the same 14 songs you've been listening to for the past month and a half.
Yeah, yeah.
Which one do you want?
Yeah.
And I'm like, fucking Luther Vandross, spin it again, son. Like,
yeah, really.
Play it again, sir.
You ever heard of RuPaul? Give me like her songs.
Yeah.
And don't stop.
And no one else.
I want it in my fucking blood.
The last like 3 months has just been pita 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 pita.
And like, you ever think about that sometimes? Like you sit back and you're like, I need help. Yeah. I feel like if someone was to look at me and be like, this guy in his off time does the same 3 things.
Yeah.
Every day.
You know how you can connect Spotify to your Facebook, and then other people who have done the same thing can see what you're listening to in real time. So like it was exactly, I did that recently, and it was exactly the nightmare that I thought it was, because everybody was listening to cool shit, and here I was listening to fucking Sissy That Walk
again
for the 14th time in a row. And then I switched it up and I listened to Low by Todrick Hall featuring RuPaul.
So, needless to say, drag music is kind of your new horizon.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
Oh man, yeah. Like I am so into drag right now. Like just like the art form.
I mean, we did spend a whole calendar year watching literally every single
RuPaul's
Drag Race season and spinoff possible available to us. And we really only just finished like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Actually, new episode tonight.
Like 2 weeks ago.
No, tomorrow, because today's Thursday. I thought today was Friday.
I thought today was Friday too.
I'm losing my damn mind, man.
But yeah, no. But at the same time, to bring it back to happiness, being in those ruts makes me happy. And if it makes me happy, fuck off.
Like I think structure helps, right?
Yeah.
I think that Sam and I are very similar in this regard, where if I really could structure my life to be like, now is when you wake up. Yeah. Now is when you work out. Now is when you eat. Now is when you create. Now is when you hang out with friends. Now is when you walk out. You watch a movie.
Yeah.
Like that would be great.
Yeah, and everything could be okay.
But it's not gonna happen.
No,
it's not gonna happen.
I feel like the worst thing that school ever did for us was be like, now is when you do math. Now is when we do English. Now is when you do science. And now is when we have recess, because it just makes you crave I mean, like, some people don't. Some people don't fucking
Some people
benefit
like living by
from
the seat of
this.
their pants.
Some
That's
people
good.
don't benefit from the system and never did. And then the second they got out of school, they've been nothing but happy ever since.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, for me, it's just, like, I'm such a goody two-shoes that I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch an episode of Big Mouth at 2:30. I don't know if that's allowed. But I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
But it's going to make me happy. But it might make somebody else unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
But if it does, I'm not gonna know about it. So I guess I'll just do it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know if I just did the right thing or not.
And
like,
here you are making yourself anxious about something that no one is going to give you shit for.
Yeah.
And like that's us though, right?
Yeah.
That's a very us thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think to tie it back to our initial conversation, like just doing more things and like and being less of into the things that I'm into, you know, like allowing myself to be into the things that I'm into, but also like a part of my happiness is driven by the fact that I like doing new things, but I'm constantly telling myself to not do those things.
Yeah.
Like totally inadvertently, right? Like that's not a conscious thought.
Yeah.
It's just constant and it runs in my mind.
And it all just like falls back in on each other, where it's like, okay, so I'm going to creating makes me happy. Oh, but like, I got in a rut, or not in a rut, in like a groove, and I created for like 2 hours. Ah, shit. But I also had like calling my grandma on the to-do list today, and now she's asleep because it's 5:00 in the afternoon and I missed out and I didn't call grandma. Now I'm upset.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you did something that makes you happy today. So what makes you happy, bitch?
Yeah.
When are you gonna be happy, bitch?
I wonder about that myself sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's important, like, okay, here's actually something, and I'm not trying to bring the room down, but what is one thing that you are looking forward to when life returns, or at least this, you know, when things get a little bit better?
Yeah.
And I don't want to focus on the fact that it hasn't happened yet. Mm-hmm. I'd rather talk about the thing that we are looking forward to
when we one day can. Yeah.
I can give an example if you want me to start off.
Sure.
I cannot fucking wait to get with my friends again and play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Because, good God, Christ almighty, in this pandemic, all of my friends, minus one, own Switches now. With Smash Brothers.
So, like,
we all been smashing solo.
What's up?
So, like,
We've all been smashing solo.
Yeah, bro, it's happening. We've been smashing solo. And the fights, when we get back, are gonna be legendary.
They're going to be unholy.
We went through an anime time skip, and we're coming back twice as strong. Yeah. I play characters I've never played before.
One of you is going to be blonde when you get back.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be insane.
Actually, this Sunday we've planned, because now that we all own Switches pretty much, we've planned a group call where we're going to try to do Smash online.
Aww, that's nice.
The problem is that Smash, like most fighting games and most Nintendo games, has a really bad net code, which means that like there's going to be latency issues, there's going to be lag issues. But you know what? I'm just going to take it in stride. I'm just going to focus on the fact that I'm playing Smash with my friends. And that is literally all I want to do.
That's all you need.
That is like, oh my God, I cannot wait for that fucking night to happen.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it all week. And I cannot wait until we're back in a basement playing Smash and eating pizza again.
Absolutely.
Because God damn it, man.
Yeah, man. I just like, I hope that my friends are down for this. But like, when the world is open again, I'm just going to show up to your house.
You're going to do like
I'm just going to show up to your house when I want to. Help
Can
myself
Brad
to some
come out to
cold,
play?
Yeah, help myself to some cold pizza out of the fridge. Your mom's going to be like, Sam's drinking all of our Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
Hey, Sam is here.
She just comes in here and helps herself all the time. Like, do I have a third child now? What the hell?
Yeah.
And none of you can do anything about it. And I don't care. I'm just going to show up at your, like, casual hangouts and drop-ins. Like, so often I, like, want to do something with my friends just, like, spontaneously. I'm like, what's up? Like, I'm done work for the day. You're done work for the day. Like, let's go out and do something. Let's go walk around for a bunch of hours, or let's just go over to somebody's house and like watch an episode of something. Let's, you know, like just spontaneously hanging out. There's so much planning when we're not in lockdown. There's so much planning that goes into just like seeing somebody. It's like, okay, we're going to meet up at this outdoor space, but not that outdoor space because that outdoor space is super busy. This one is a little less busy. Wear our masks, come here at this time, be gone by this time, and, you know, so long and so forth. Just fucking call me. Or show up to my house and just be there, you know? I can't wait.
Yeah.
I love spontaneous hangouts.
Well, now
Everything
you
in
do.
COVID takes so much plan. No, like honestly, even when in the before times when a plan would just kind of come together and your friends were like, are you free? I'm free. Do you want to do something? I could do something for a couple of hours. Okay, let's go. Like, I love spontaneity like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I can't wait.
That'd be fun, man. Because I feel like, okay, so...
late night hangouts and walks and stuff.
Yeah, stuff like that. Because I feel like growing up in, like, high school, there was so much room for that. Because as a teenager, you have literally nothing but time.
Yeah.
And you could do stuff like that. Like, I remember, like, Friday nights, like, hitting up my friends at, like, 11:30 at night. Or, like, someone would likely hit me up. I wasn't really the one to be like...
I didn't talk to people.
No, because
people talk to me. Okay,
because I'm a fucking introvert, and by 11:30, like I'm just trying to play some Halo, bro. Like my 360 is on, my TBs, my Turtle Beaches are on my head. It's fucking gamer time. And then someone is like, "Hey, like you want to come hang out?" And I'm like, "Ah, yeah." But on that note, what are some things when the sun is real low that boost your mood? Like guilty pleasures. Like for me personally, whenever I'm in a bad mood or whenever I'm just not feeling good about life, I have a playlist on YouTube of my favorite anime opening and closing songs.
Nice.
That because as anyone knows who listens to this podcast, I watch a lot of anime. I'm really into anime, and something I love about anime is that when you listen to anime, when you watch anime, you run the chance of running into genuinely really good music because a lot of music used in anime isn't songs explicitly written for the anime. It'll just be like a popular song by a Japanese band.
Yeah.
So there are times when I'm like, fuck, this is groovy as hell.
Fucking slaps.
Like this slaps so hard. Like this is such a good song.
Yeah.
So I've taken all of my favorites and put them in a playlist. And this is the lamest thing in the world, and I can't believe I'm about to say this into a microphone. I've associated a lot of these songs with my own personal creative works in terms of like tones and stuff I want to use, and like, you know, a lot of nerds would like to put their own they make their own anime intros in their heads.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like it's something that will never exist because you're never going to use the song that another anime has used already. That doesn't make any sense.
Fair.
But it's a great sort of way for me to refocus myself in my creative efforts to like go through that fantasy and like feel really good about it, and like it's so clearly plotted in my head, and say to myself like, no, I am gonna make this one day, and it's gonna happen. And then after I do that and experience the high, I can now ground myself and be like, if I want to make that, these are the things I have to do. Now let's fucking do it.
Let's go.
That's a mood booster for me. That's
go!
something I frequently go to.
Cool.
Yeah. How about you?
When I'm low, I love to go to just like a good old fashioned Vine compilation.
Yeah, you are a fan of the Vine compilations.
Just like this, and like just like they're so my humor.
Yeah. Really, yeah.
Yeah, just and like I really love like the just asinine, absurd space that Vines live in. There's just something about it.
Weird chapter of the internet.
Yeah.
I feel like Vine walked so TikTok could run.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But Vine compilations, they do something to me, man, because they're always like half an hour long, which is a perfect length, or sometimes even 45 minutes long. A good hour-long Vine compilation, oof. Take me to church.
Vines that keep you from ending it all?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like all the titles are just like Vines me and my friends reference on a daily basis, and like things like that, or like Vines that like I reference all the time that my friends don't understand. Tiffany, watch this. You know, it's like I love stuff like that because like not only are the Vines hilarious, but it's like funny to imagine somebody going through the effort of saving all of those Vines and then uploading them to YouTube so that their friends can see it, and then they go on and they like joke about like.
That actually begs a really interesting question. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Favorite Vines with their friends.
How do they archive Vines?
So you can save them. So when Vine announced that it was closing, they were like, the app is going to be like ending on this day.
Can you download the app still? Is it still on Play Stores?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I think people who had it can still have it.
If you have it on your phone.
And like watch the Vines that they had saved.
Interesting.
But people just like say, like you would save them to your phone and then upload them.
Fascinating.
To you, and like people like put them into obviously you put it into like a program or something so that they're all mushed together.
Or Premiere.
But you just upload it then.
That
and
is
like
so crazy
when Vine announced that it was closing, people en masse like
would save everything.
Yeah, there was like a mass exodus of people just like grabbing all the Vines that they wanted, that they personally wanted, and then putting them on YouTube so they could live forever.
What I think is crazy about that is that, like, think of all the great Vines that didn't get saved. I know it's kind of like a weirdly pessimistic thing to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's an objective thing because, I guess it's true. Yeah, I think like, oh yeah, well, all the Vines that like what people wanted to get saved, like, did get saved.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have fucking road work ahead. It's fine. Everything's fine. But I guess,
sure hope it does. Yeah, sorry. I just realized.
You gotta finish it. You have to finish it once you start it. You have to finish it once it's started.
Oh my God. I used to watch Vine compilations in my first year university dorm, till like 2 a.m. just crying, laughing.
Yeah.
So funny, man.
I can talk about this now because like I'm over it, but like a couple summers ago, my mom got diagnosed with melanoma. Mm-hmm. Everything's fine. They just had to like cut it out of her leg. Everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And before her surgery, I was just like really bummed while we were like waiting for the results, and I just watched Vine compilations and they made me feel better.
Yeah,
like for that span of time, and like God bless the people who made those compilations. They're long spans of time. They make you laugh.
They really do.
Yeah.
Because Vine, what was beautiful about Vine was like the 7-second loop, right?
Yeah.
And so many creators use that loop to their advantage.
Yeah.
And when you watch Vine compilations, it's literally like laughs are beating the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Like you are being fucking bombarded.
Yeah.
By funny videos.
Yeah.
Which also is sometimes a double-edged sword because if you watch like 4 in a row that aren't funny, now it's kind of like
drained.
Oh,
it's
man.
like, oh my God.
And then even when a funny one comes along,
pulls it out of
now you go like
yeah.
As opposed to like, the 9th one in a row that was like making you die.
Yeah.
So it's a mixed bag, but like it just speaks to how great Vine was in a lot of ways, Like a couple of fucking old people that we are.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
I know.
You should just download TikTok.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Do it.
Maybe I will.
I feel like you would like TikTok.
Fuck around.
I also feel like
anybody would like TikTok because there's a community for whatever you're into on
That's
TikTok.
true. It's a really robust app. And there's tons of things on it.
I mean, that's the thing with TikTok. Like a lot of people think that like TikTok is for Gen Zers who want to watch Dixie D'Amelio and Addison Rae do dances.
Yeah,
and
sure.
That's just a part of it.
One
like,
part, yeah.
I'm sure there are teenagers who don't give a fuck about those people and just like watch. Or they're still up in like cottagecore, like fucking TikTok, and just like looking at pictures of like wildflowers blowing in a field somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's their TikTok.
It's true. I have to admit, the algorithm on TikTok is very impressive.
Yeah.
I don't own the app, but I've talked about it with a few friends of mine.
Actually, a little thing that made me happy the other day, I was out roller skating in the park, and I was practicing my turns in the parking lot because mostly everybody was gone, and this girl, this teenage girl and her mom were walking their dog. And she was explaining TikTok to her. And her mom was like actually listening.
That makes me happy.
And like asking her questions.
Yeah.
She was like, okay, so like you get TikTok. And then how does it know what you like? And the girl was like, likes. Because like you like things.
Depending on what you like, yeah.
Yeah. And she was like explaining communities. And she was like, so like, like Tyler likes, like you like certain celebrity, like certain athletes. So it'll give like the algorithm recognizes that and like gives them like basketball TikToks and football TikToks. And then like before you know it, your For You page is like extremely exclusively like sports and stuff like that. And mom was like, oh.
Yeah.
And I was like, that makes me happy.
Yeah, I was going to say
Parents
the same thing.
Listening to their kids and asking them questions about things that they like. I love that shit.
Oh, that's a serotonin hit.
Shit.
It's a serotonin hit, man.
Yeah,
I'm feeling good right now.
Parenting.
Yeah.
Makes me happy.
I mentioned this on many episodes, so I'm going to keep this brief, but I can't even count the amount of people who would come to EB Games and be like, I don't give a fucking shit about my kid.
Yeah.
What's a stupid fucking game? I hate video games. You're a loser. How much is this? $90? Put it on my American Express. Spit in my fucking face. Yeah, exactly. No, there's actually nothing that really irked me more than like people who come in and like belittle the hobby of playing video games like to my face. And it's like
what do you think I do?
I'm like into video games. Do you think I hate video games?
You didn't go to like the electronics section at Walmart where they put any old dingus there. You went to a specialized game store.
In my interview, they asked me what my top 3 favorite games were.
Why the fuck would you go to an EB Games? That's like going into a NASCAR rally and being like, so I hate fucking my cousin.
Okay.
Like, where do you think you are? Where do you think you are?
Yeah, really.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's like going into a games workshop and being like, God, all these minis are dumb.
Yeah.
Like, I hate painting things.
Like,
and they'll be like, okay, that'll be $400.
Yeah.
It's like, how much are you buying? 2 minis. Oh, okay.
this is stupid. It's like, what the
Anyway, tap. Like, you know, like, you're still buying it, bitch. You're still buying it.
You still bought that $90 game for your kid that they definitely broke, and you can't get replaced now because you didn't buy the warranty.
We'll ask this one first and then segue into the next one. What are some things that you did as a kid that made you happy, and what's your relation to what's just some things you did as a kid that made you happy, and what's your relationship to it now?
Where's the things that, you know what? I actually used to love going to hockey games when I was a kid.
No way.
Yeah.
That is not what I thought you were going to say.
There are little things too, you know, like playing outside and like playing pretend and like, I mean, like I still like doing that now, obviously, because I act, but I have a different relationship to it now, and I actually need to get it back. Listen to older episodes of our podcast if you want to hear me expand on that. But the first thing that came into my mind was like hockey games when I was a kid.
Right.
My mom's work at the time had a box at the local arena. Excuse me. Where our OHL team, the Kitchener Rangers, played. Mm-hmm. And like for some reason, no one ever like took advantage of the tickets.
Weird.
Like anybody could just grab these tickets and like go to like a box.
They're begging people to come. Yeah.
Yeah, go to like a box seat at the Rangers game. And my mom would get everybody together, like me and my friends and their parents, and we would all go.
Right.
And like we would get pizza. It was pizza, but like,
can I say fuck pizza for having that name?
I know.
Pizza.
Pizza.
Can I get a pizza barbecue pizza? Like, I'm gonna fucking die. I'm having a stroke.
Can I have a butter chicken pizza? You want a pizza? No, I want a pizza.
I want a pepperoni pizza from Pizza.
Yeah.
Like, it's
fuck
like,
that place,
I'm
man.
gonna fucking burn this place to the ground. I'm gonna arson every single pizza. That's a hot pizza from Pizza.
No, but like we would get pizza at the games. Mm-hmm. See, now the word pizza just makes me laugh.
It doesn't sound like a real word anymore.
No.
Yeah.
So you get pizza and like pop, and you know, like I can still imagine like the smell. If you've ever been to a hockey arena before, and most of you probably have, there's a smell. Like it's like the smell of like sweat, but also like the air that it takes to maintain ice while not making the place like freezing cold. Like the air just hits different.
It's very specific.
I can like remember that arena smell.
There's like a slight just on the cups like of like sweat everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And like, oh man, they had fresh beer nuts at those games, like warm beer nuts. And I remember like the smell of like the warm beer nuts was around too.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just like I loved going. I hardly knew anything about hockey, but like 2003, the last year that the Rangers won the Memorial Cup, like I went to a bunch of those games and like watched them, you know, win, like go all of the way. And I saw a bunch of those games live, and you know, like getting to see a team when they're doing really well is exciting.
Yeah.
And my friends and I like knew all the players from the team, and we had our favorites, and we had our team that we hated to this day. I still hate the London Knights. Fuck you, London. I don't like you.
If you're from London, you're a bad person.
You're a bad person. And yeah, no, it was just like, it was the best time. And you know what? If I had the chance to go to a hockey game, that's actually something that I want to do. Take it back to what you were asking before about like what I want to do when the world opens back up again. I would love to go to more sports events.
Me too, yeah.
I
love going to games.
I actually have fun at live sporting events.
It's easier to be engaged when you're watching it in person.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Doesn't have to be like pro level. It can be like amateur, or even just like, you know, going to see your friends play, because your friends play hockey just like recreational
beer leagues. Yeah, totally.
Hang out and stuff, and it's a really good time. So that makes me happy. And I guess I still have my relationship to it dropped off because I'm in the arts, darling. I don't like sports, but I dropped that persona now, and I'm much happier for it. So now that I've dropped it, and you know, I've gotten into like basketball since the quarantine, and hopefully the world will open up again next year, fingers crossed. Yeah, I'd love to.
Me too, man.
I'd love to reignite my relationship to sports because I ended it for no reason.
I want to talk about something you just brought up. Can we, as a group of creatives, please stop pretending like if you're into art, you can't be into sports?
I'm gonna stop you right there. That was us.
No, that's not just us.
I'm gonna call ourselves out on this because I know a lot of artists who are very into sports.
Okay, so yeah, I agree that we definitely we were a part of that.
Yeah.
But to say that it's just us is a total mistruth. I'm sorry. There are so many people I know on Twitter who are like, fucking sports ball, and like just straight up refuse to see the value in sports and athleticism. And I think that's a little ignorant, in my opinion.
I think you're a little caught up in Twitter then. I think you're mad at Twitter again, which is fair.
I spend a lot of time being mad at Twitter.
I will always be mad at Twitter.
Generally, yeah.
But no, I think very much so. That was a thing. That was us and in our heads. Because if I think about it, I can name 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 artists that we know personally who follow sports like seriously.
Good.
Like pay attention to it.
There's a lot of art. Like, okay, this is gonna be a little froofy of me. I apologize. There's a lot of artistry in athleticism, right?
There's also a lot of parallels to what athletes do and what artists do, and like how we act.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like,
yes,
like a play has a lot of parallels to like a game, and if you don't have your shit together, you're like letting your team down. So no, I mean like playing a game, like when fucking Russell Wilson goes out and plays football, like there's similarities to when he does that to when like we step out on stage and do something. For the
of course, because it's all like yeah, I'm not gonna fucking sit here and like break down like what a play is or like how sports practice goes, but yeah, you're right. Like basically at the end of the day, if you break it into its core elements, it's effort and what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And I just respect that.
Yeah.
Look at all you fucking weebs at home. If you've watched Kuroko's Basketball or like Hajime no Ippo or fucking Yuri on Ice, you'd like those things in real life. It's crazy. Give it a shot.
Are you done?
Why don't you ever talk about what you ever talk about, Sam? I mean, fuck me and my drag, right? Whatever.
What's something that you liked as a kid, and what is your relationship to it now?
It's funny when you say that. Pretty much all the things I did when I was a kid to make me happy, I still do.
Okay. Never grew up. That's good to know.
Oh yeah, no, I've grown up in terms of like I've sort of like adultified these hobbies, and that like if I was the exact same way I was when I was a kid, I would just be playing video games all damn day long, right? So I obviously like to play a lot of video games, and something I did as a kid a lot that I unfortunately don't do as much anymore, and I guess that's how it's changed, is play games with my friends. In high school especially, like I only played multiplayer games. Okay. Like when a single player game came out, it was usually something that everyone did on their own and they came back and talk about, which is sort of how it is now. But growing up, like multiplayer games were the jam, dude. Like Xbox Live, Xbox 360, you come home, log into Modern Warfare or Halo 3 or Gears of War. It was usually the typical big three. And then, the sequels and iterations on that. And play with your friends for hours. And obviously that's changed because all of my friends don't necessarily play multiplayer games anymore. But as multiplayers we get is Smash Brothers, And then another thing I used to do when I was a kid a lot is play pretend. Like just generally, just like meet up with friends and then be like, what character are you going to be today? Like, I'm going to be Sonic the Hedgehog. And like run real fast and like create these like super fan fiction ass scenarios. And now I'm a writer and I like to draw and act, which surprise, surprise is just all of those things. It's literally all it is. Yeah. It's just, harnessing that into a more structured not the right word, in a more focused creative space.
I loved a good we'll pick this up next recess.
Totally.
I love that. When you got so into something and it took up all of your recess and then you're like, okay, remember what you did and then we'll pick it back up again at recess. Man, I missed that.
Recess started getting shit.
Man, I missed that.
Recess started getting shit when it just turned into circles of kids
around.
talking.
Yeah, really.
Like I used to miss it when we like did stuff at recess, And here we are. That's why like when we got to high school and recess was gone, like I didn't fucking miss it. Really? Because now I just do this after school. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that. Or like, so I used to hate it when my friends just wanted to play sports. Like, you just want to play soccer, you just want to play basketball, you just want to play. I don't know if anybody's ever going to know what I'm talking about, but schlocky, do you have schlocky?
The fuck is schlocky?
I think it's a different name. I think it varies based on what school you went to and where you live. But schlocky is when you have like a board with like a thing in the middle, and then you take hockey sticks, but you play with the stick end, not the like curved end, and you try and like push a hockey puck to and like score on your opponent's other side.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have that?
No.
Damn. Okay, never mind then. But yeah, I used to waste like recesses upon recesses standing in line waiting to play schlocky. And
that's interesting.
Never getting to play schlocky.
You never get to play?
No, because sometimes a game would go on, because like the way it would go is that like winner continues on,
right? And
then like, you know, the next kid in line plays the winner and so on and so forth. But sometimes nobody won,
right?
And recess is only 15 minutes long.
God, that's wild.
You can only get through so many people in 15 minutes. So sometimes a game would take like 10 minutes. And then like even if you're third in line, even if you get there early and you're third in line, you're not going to play. It's such a waste. And all my friends wanted to do it. And I'm like, guys, we can't all play schlock. Some of us are going to just stand around waiting for a turn. Can we do literally anything else?
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
But no balls.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
My elementary school had this game called tackle soccer, which is exactly what you think it is. It's playing soccer, but instead of like slide tackling to steal the ball, you would just deck a kid.
Just deck a kid?
I never played personally because in my youth, I really wasn't into sports at all. Mm-hmm. Like I literally felt like no compulsion to play sports. Mm-hmm. When I was 8 years old, I didn't see the value in athleticism. Wow. Check your own self, Cameron. Anyway,
Dick.
But yeah, I never fucking played tackle soccer because I really, from a game standpoint, the reason why you can't tackle people in professional soccer is because that doesn't add anything to the game.
No, you'll get nowhere.
There's really no point, right? There's at the end of the day, no point.
Yeah.
But it's just kids being kids. It eventually got banned because enough kids got hurt.
Yeah.
Because that's the way it goes.
You get dogpiled and someone breaks a leg.
Well, you know what? Actually, this is a total segue, but non sequitur. I'm curious about this. Did your school like ban things like Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
Yeah.
Like,
Beyblades were hard banned.
Why? I never got it.
I think somebody got cut playing a Beyblade one time. Like, not severely, but like, I think somebody had like... I think somebody had an off-brand Beyblade, and those bitches were made of metal.
Well, I know why. Yes, that for sure.
Yeah.
But I know why Beyblades were banned in my area. It's actually a buddy, friend of mine. Someone at his school. You know how Beyblades had the ripcord?
Yeah.
Like the let it rip.
Yeah.
You know, like so someone let it rip.
Yeah.
And that ripcord hit some kid right under his eye.
Oh shit.
And he needed like stitches.
Okay.
And like that was the reason. Like that spread to the school boards.
Yeah.
And they were like, this is killing kids. But no, I just thought about like honestly right now, it's like
everything fun though got banned. Like I don't remember there ever being an incident about Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like kids, because like when Pokemon cards were a thing, I was like grade 3 and under, and by then Pokemon cards were very much banned.
Yeah.
By grade 3, so maybe like some upper years, like some 4th or 5th graders, like pulled some shit that I didn't know about, and then by the time I got there, like Pokemon cards were just banned.
Yeah.
But I don't ever recall like a serious incident. Like Yu-Gi-Oh cards came around then, and then those were banned too. It was just like nothing had a chance.
Well, what I don't get, and it kind of like goes off what you just said, is that like. Okay, so on some level, I think they probably banned these things to avoid theft. Because I imagine that was also an issue.
Yeah.
But that aside, like, what the fuck is wrong with kids playing Yu-Gi-Oh on the playground quietly with themselves?
I know.
Like, that's such a shocking thing to, like, thinking about it now as an adult, you could just maybe try to teach kids the lessons of not stealing, as opposed to, I don't know, banning fun.
But see, Cameron, that would be productive. Also, like, look at how the rest of the world works. That is so how the world works.
It's true.
One thing gets messed up and then no one can have it.
Yeah,
There's just like no regulation. It's like we can't make everybody do everything, so no one can have it.
I don't get that at all, man. Like honest to God, really feel like my life I would have been way closer to being a nerd when I was younger if I was allowed to, like, I don't know, play Pokemon with my fucking Game Boy at recess. I think the worry...
spend so much time at school. Like, yeah.
I think the worry was, like, teachers would think that I would, like, do it during lesson times.
Yeah.
And I get that, because kids are fucking stupid and need to be taught empathy and, like, responsibility. And if they have access to these things, like, yeah, they'd probably use it. But why not, instead of, like, no, you can't! Like... Just maybe be like, okay, when you come in, if you have an entertainment device, like maybe you put it in this basket at the front of the room, and then when recess comes around, you can take it with you. And like, you know, everyone has their name on it and it can be like labeled properly. You know, like, I feel like there was better systems that could have been in place as opposed to like just banning it outright.
I don't know, man. Like, first of all, like, kids are kids. You were a sedentary kid. So, like, I understand, you know, from your perspective, you're just going to sit in a corner somewhere and not bother anybody and play with it. But, like, kids are rambunctious and they can be very rough with things.
It's true.
And Game Boys are expensive.
They are.
It's going to get broken.
I
and then
agree.
the kid's going to cry. And then the parent's going to be like, why is your game broken? And then the school's going to be like in trouble and shit with the parents because it's like, why didn't you do something to protect my kid's thing or help my kid protect their thing?
That makes sense.
And it's just a big hassle.
I think that Game Boys probably has less of a leg to stand on in terms of like, well, if you modern it up, like Switches or 3DSs, those are pretty fragile devices.
God. Imagine
and like
a kid taking a Switch to school.
really shouldn't do that.
Even a Switch Lite, I'd be like, don't take this fucking big ass thing. Game Boys were compact. Like a Game Boy Advance SP is like so compact.
Yeah, you can put it in your pocket.
Even a Switch Lite, like,
You need a carrying
holy
case for it.
shit.
Yeah.
Like, no way, dude.
No, I agree. That's a harder case to make. Totally fair. Trading card games.
Yeah.
Fucking D&D. Like, these are things that, like, you really don't need to spend a lot of money on.
Yeah.
And, like, can be played with, like, cards. You know,
Yeah.
like, I don't understand why that stuff was so shunned besides the theft thing, which, of course, makes sense. But I don't know. I just feel like there could have been a better way to handle it, personally.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm also just bitter. Like, I'm just simply bitter about my toys being taken away from me.
Right, yeah.
To this day, as a 27-year-old woman, I'm still mad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me play, damn it.
Let me play,
I want to
dang it.
play.
Yeah.
What are some things that make you happy now that you didn't think would make you happy growing up?
Okay. Close your eyes. Let me paint you a picture, okay?
Okay, all right, close my eyes. Here we go.
Okay.
Should I take my glasses off?
No, you can keep your glasses on. Just close your eyes.
Okay.
Okay. It's Sunday evening. You've just taken a nice hot shower.
Yeah, okay.
Okay? You get out of the shower, you dry yourself off, and you take out the good lotion. It's scented exactly the way that you like it scented. Like, imagine your favorite scent, your lotion smells like that. Okay?
Yeah,
And it's soft and buttery, but not too greasy. You put it all over your body, and then you get into some fresh, clean pajamas.
Yeah.
And you get into your bed, which is perfectly made. Your sheets have just been washed that day and are still warm from the dryer. And then you get into bed and you turn on your favorite television show.
Yeah.
And there's a new episode out. And it's really good.
Oh,
And it's the perfect arc and it ends exactly the way you want it.
nice.
And then you go to sleep.
Wow.
It's 9 p.m. That shit makes me fucking happy.
Yeah, man, that's real good shit.
Right?
I mean, that's basically going to be similar to my answer. Was that like, it's going to sound a little weird, but I really wish that I would have started to spend more time being specific about my own care.
Yeah.
You know? And listen, I was never like a fucking slob. It's not like I would go like 9 weeks without showering often. But like, I literally mean it. It's like finding, like, okay, for instance, if you shampoo and shower, or excuse me, condition when you shower, take the effort to find a shampoo that you really like.
Yes.
Take the effort to find a conditioner that you really like.
Yes.
If you lotion, find a nice lotion you really like.
Yes.
You know, like, getting specific about those things. Exercising is another one where it's like, growing up, you just have infinite energy. You never think that you won't have energy. And then you get into your 20s and you're like, oh, wait, if I don't work out, I'll never have energy and I'll be dead at 50. So like doing that, you know, self-care, but not the self-care that Twitter talks about, which is like, you deserve it. Order a pizza on a Wednesday, you know, like, no,
take a bubble bath.
Like self-care in the sense that like your body is a machine and bitch, you got to oil it. You got to make sure them screws are tight.
Yep.
You got to make sure them fibers be bending.
Yep.
And you have to do that, you know?
Yeah.
And that is something that I never really thought would make me happy.
You have to allow yourself to have the things that will allow you to do that.
Yes,
like
exactly.
shampoos that you like or work for you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's why like I developed I figured out like a skincare regimen for myself that includes like face masks and like lactic acid exfoliants and like a timing system for it all.
Yeah.
SPF, like all this stuff that I know is good for me. It feels good. I feel taken care of when I do it.
Absolutely.
I used to never wash my face at night. I would do it in the morning, like I would do it once a day, but not twice a day.
Right.
Because I didn't give a shit.
Well, yeah,
because
sure.
before it was just like soap, lotion, done, or soap, toner, lotion, done. But like now that I actually have something of like substance that I can like carefully do, it's worthwhile, and I feel taken care of and good.
You feel like you're doing that maintenance on yourself.
Yeah.
You feel like you're spending the time in your your fucking body's garage.
Yeah.
And like making the bearings tighter and changing your oil. Like when I get out of the shower now and I'm all fucking lotioned up and like perfumed and shit, and I put on my outfit, I just feel better. Yeah. And that's so important.
Yeah.
Like to sort of like my answer in this example would be taking my style more seriously.
Okay, yeah.
Growing up, I never really had a style. I'd wear the shirts my mommy bought me.
Yep.
Right? And like, sometimes it was just like that weird awkward fat kid with like, hair that's just kind of long. And like shorts that don't match or go with the color of the shirt that you're wearing. And like, listen, I'm by no means a style aficionado, but I have in recent years trying to take my general appearance more seriously. I have a lot to go. I think my opinions on style are better than my style execution, if that makes any sense.
No, totally. You're broke with expensive tastes.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Because like, honest to God, like I work with what I got because quite frankly, I don't have the money to go out and buy nice outfits. Yeah. I don't. Like that's just I have like 90 pairs of basketball shorts. Yeah. But bitch, I'm gonna wear them.
But wear them well.
Yeah.
Like, figure out how to wear basketball shorts.
Because it is a bit of a, like okay, so.
There's a way to style everything. I'm sorry. Especially with the way that things leave and then come back into fashion. There's a way to style everything. You just got to figure it out.
I agree. Yeah. I'm a personally, my style I've sort of decided on is kind of like relaxed chic. Yeah. Where it's like, I wear generally kind of loose fitting clothing. Yeah. But it's loose, but that doesn't mean it has to look like it doesn't fit. Yeah. Does that make any sense when I say that?
I mean, I would consider your clothes fitted, to be honest. Like these pants that you've got right now, for those listening at home, Cam's got his usual pair of like Lululemon joggers on. And, like there's extra fabric, but they're tapered at the ankle.
That's a big thing.
And he still has a shape, but there's extra fabric lying around.
Totally.
Like totally. It's not baggy. The waistline is at his hips where it's supposed to be, at his waist or whatever. And I don't know the difference between a waist and hips still because I'm a baby. But they sit at his waist properly. They're not sagging. It's just, they're fitted. Like, they're fitted to you. Everything is where it's supposed to be. There's just a little bit extra for movement and, comfortability.
Comfort is important to me. Yeah. But comfort shouldn't come at the expense of looking schlocky. You know what I mean?
No, because schlocky is a game and not a look.
Yeah, whatever. So like basically sloppy.
Yeah.
Whatever, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like basically like you can look comfortable and still look like you gave a shit.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm striving for generally. Yeah. And a big part of me, I mentioned this on other podcasts before, is that like as a bigger person, I kind of have to do the extra heavy lifting it takes to not come off slobbish. And I personally want to do those things. I don't feel as though there's a societal pressure, maybe like I did when I was younger. Now, I just think that I personally have a bar I need to reach in terms of like not looking like a fucking gross idiot all the time, You
have a way that you want to look.
Yeah. And I'm trying to improve on that every day. But, of course, money and outfits are all dictated by spending and getting things.
I would love to do a style overhaul when I have steadier income.
Totally.
And just like, especially like, because there are so many thrift stores now because it's so popular.
And thrifting is huge.
Like, good stuff in the thrift stores now.
You have a friend who's a master thrifter.
I would love to go out and like try a bunch of new things and like completely overhaul my wardrobe.
I have a sweater upstairs that I got from a fucking
Valley Village?
No, the other one.
Talese. Yeah.
That I swear to God is like one of the nicest sweaters I own.
Yeah.
It's just like an Old Navy sweater.
Yeah.
and it's my style completely, and it fits me perfectly, and I got it for $5.
The best.
Like, come on.
That's another thing that makes me happy is like knowing that I got a good deal. You want to know another small thing that makes me happy?
Yeah.
When you buy gas at a gas station, like you fill up on gas and then you go to the next 2 gas stations, like you're driving past them and you know that you got the lowest price.
Use a gas buddy in that shit.
Yeah.
Totally.
You know that you've won the gas station roulette. Oh my God. It's ecstasy.
Yeah.
It's absolute
That's good
ecstasy.
shit. That's good shit, man.
It's the best.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
But I would say that would be some things that I definitely growing up didn't necessarily think would make me happy.
Yeah.
But now as an adult are like almost imperative to my happiness.
100%. Cleanliness, good style, just like knowing that you look good and
Feeling good.
yeah.
Because, there's a big notion, right? Like, I feel like there's a lot of people out there, like, I'm going to speak to the fellas for a minute here. And I feel like I've done this before, but I'm going to speak to the fellas for a minute here.
Hey, fellas.
Hey, boys.
I'm talking to you.
Talking to you directly. If you're a dude who's maybe like me of a huskier size and you feel low on your self-confidence, the things that I just talked about are going to start you on your journey of maybe feeling a little bit better about yourself.
I feel like society like dunks on heavier dudes and just like sets them out. I mean, like, as much of a glow up as Seth Rogen has had, the like heavier dude who dresses like shit trope, like Seth Rogen really leaned into in the beginning of his career.
Sure.
And now I feel like everybody sees that. And it's like, Seth Rogen probably fights this himself too. But like, you don't have to dress a certain way or act a certain way just because there's an idea that people already have about you before.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like, you understand that they're wrong, right? Like, you understand that, like, they're wrong.
It's hard to, that's a hard thing, though.
You don't have to be anything. So, yeah, no. But, like, ever since you sort of, like, took that for yourself and started to eschew that and have been doing the work to try and, like, find your own personal style, like, I've noticed you're a lot happier.
Generally, for sure.
Yeah.
Now I get to be anxious about other things. Not stupid things.
Okay, this is the happy episode, so maybe just
it was a joke. I'm
turn
just
it
kidding.
around. But yeah, no. Finding your own personal style can be fun. And
it is fun.
Finding your own, hygiene routines, skincare routines, shower routines can be fun. Learning about what you like. Don't just use the same Irish Spring that your mommy's been buying you since you were 13. Like,
try something new, man.
Try something new.
And like, once you get over that hump and your confidence is now higher generally from because you take better care of yourself, you'd be surprised of the time you have now because you're not spending so much time feeling like shit about that.
Yeah.
Like it's like a cleanse.
Yeah.
Like I made that joke just now, but like I get to worry about other things. But like, I do think that's optimistic because it's like now I'm not focused on the dumb crap that I used to be anxious about.
Yeah.
Because like I'm over that hurdle now, and I can focus on real other things to work towards, now that base is a little bit higher.
Totally.
And fashion designers out there, if you don't start making clothes for bigger people, I'm going to come to your house, man.
I'm going to key your fucking car.
I'm going to key.
Sick of it.
I'm going to key your fucking car.
I'm going to key your fucking car.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Would it kill you to make pants long enough and shoes long enough that are cool and fashionable that I can then try so that I can look fly as hell? Would it kill you?
Yeah.
I don't think it would.
I
and
agree.
not charge me $50 extra for it. I just...
Yeah. I know what you mean. Well, we only have about 3 or so minutes left before we should really start wrapping things up. But I want to ask one last question, Sam.
Okay.
And what does happiness mean to you?
Safe. Warm. Healthy.
Nice. Very succinct.
Every single thing I could expand, but if you have listened to all, 88 episodes or so of this podcast, you can boil down everything that I've said that I want down to that.
Down to those 3 core values.
Down to that.
Nice.
Safe, warm, healthy.
Wow. That's very profound, actually.
Yep.
I think that's a really good answer.
Thank you.
I'll go in a different direction. I don't necessarily want to be specific because I don't think I can be as succinct as that. I, in my sort of adulthood journey, have come to terms with the fact that being happy all the time is not a goal. That's exhausting. And I don't mean that to be negative. I mean that like you shouldn't be happy all the time because like we talked about in the beginning, that's impossible. And like the things that make you happy will eventually turn gray if you're just doing them all the time.
Also, there's a full range of human emotions.
Yes, exactly right. And happiness is one of those things. I feel there's a lot of people out there where their whole goal is to be happy all the time, and I feel like that you're setting yourself up for failure. What you need to do is find the things that make you happy, and then find the things that maybe that don't make you happy, but you can do. You know, like I'm serious. I'm serious.
Figure
like,
out what you can deal with.
I'm not trying to be like weirdly spiritual about this, but life is about balance. And you live with the good times and deal with the bad times so that you can come around to the good times again. You know, like the good times make the bad times easier and the bad times make the good times better. Yeah. And I think that's what happiness means to me.
I mean, there's that saying, all good things must come to an end, which I hate because it's like, well, I could easily flip it because bad things have to come to an end too.
Yeah.
All bad things can't happen forever. I know. To say that during COVID sounds bleak. But listen. Even if this pandemic goes on for 5 more years, which, like, if we fucking vote conservative again, it will.
Sam.
Moving along. Even if this pandemic goes on for 5 more years, it can't go on forever.
It's true.
It cannot go on forever.
There might be a bit of a stretch left to go, and, like, real talk, maybe. Yeah. But, like, 10 years from now, in, like, 2031, we'll be sitting with our friends, drinking fucking sangria somewhere, talking about how 2020 to 2021 was a fucking crazy year.
Yeah.
And think about the ammunition you'll have for your theoretical children to be like, oh, you have to see your friends? Let me tell you about the year I spent
you lived through some
indoors,
shit?
Billy.
Let me fucking tell you about the shit I've been through.
I walked to my job in 10 feet of snow and there was a virus trying to kill us.
And I'm here.
Punk.
So do your fucking homework.
I love you.
But yeah, that's going to do it. I think let us know what makes you happy, how you maintain happiness in the comments on our Instagram, via our Twitter if you can. And if you want to join in on a Twitch stream and tell us what makes you happy there. We stream 3 times a week, Wednesdays, Fridays. Not this week because we're streaming tonight. Doesn't matter because you're not going to be here for
and
that.
And this episode's going to coming out next week.
And Sunday mornings with Cameron at 9 a.m. playing them vintage throwback games.
I mean, for now anyway. I'll probably do other stuff eventually. But yeah,
but like Cam hanging out. And then what else can you do? You can also like this podcast and review it. And
Keep going.
Can follow it. Yeah, no, that was what I had.
Okay, cool. I was going to say you can follow us on all social medias at @ChillSpotShow.
Yeah.
We are on Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah.
I think we have a Facebook page that is completely dormant. Sam. But listen, guys, real talk. If you could share us with your friends and maybe follow our highlight channel on YouTube, which I understand has been a little dormant for a little while, but I'm working on that. That would be really great because sharing those clips and following us on social media helps so much. Thank you to everyone who has followed. Listen, guys, if everyone who listened to this podcast could share this episode with one person, you would basically double our listener base.
And you would triple our happiness. And that's what this episode is all about.
Makes me happy.
Yeah.
So tell us what makes you happy. Share with us all of your feelings, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.